the same side as the townhomes.
Yes,
Yes.
We already have curbs.
yes.
I would love a sidewalk there.
Tell the county.
One owner.
I think you've got a question from.
Phil Smith, Gerloff Road. Just, you know, I guess a request, maybe you can just provide that information to the planning commission about the possibility of that grant application going out by the township, just as a matter of courtesy.
Sure.
So we got?
That's all I have this evening.
Okay. Chief Maxey is not here. Anything from Public Works?
Anything, Mitch?
Okay. Okay, we'll go to the manager. In front of you have a resolution 2017-61 approving the 2018 tax millage. Just a note, there is no increase in taxes. Supervisors felt that was important to keep tax rates where they are. As you can see in the budget, we are able to accommodate what we need to do for next year without a tax increase. So we can have a motion for that, please.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is resolution 2017-62, which is the 2018 general and sewer budget. Can I have a motion on that, please?
I'll move.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next is ordinance, and this has been advertised, 2017-04, allowing for a tax credit for volunteer emergency management personnel and also volunteer firefighters.
Make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
All
We
those in-
got you confused tonight, that way you're gonna have motions and all different people.
It's all right.
It's a lot easier.
That's why they have pens. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Does that, Kevin, does that now go into effect for this next tax year?
Yes, but I do need the information before I can run any kind of analysis or figure out how much,
You reach out to the fire chief then?
just give me well, it's on the list, I'll
Yeah.
get it to him.
You let him know we got it, and I'll let him know what he needs to do. When I talked to him before, they have all the information we need.
Okay.
They schedule all that stuff. It's all on computers and so forth, so they can provide, they can basically tailor any report we need.
Okay,
And then we gotta detail all that to get the tax credits and stuff.
all right, I'll reach out to him.
But thanks for that, by the way, folks.
Yeah, that was a great idea, Ron. Thank you for initiating it and following through on it. I think, hopefully,
It'll help some.
yeah, it'll help some. They will. Those who live in our township, for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't help the Swingsville folks that came over, because they don't pay our taxes, so they can't give any credit.
Yes,
Oh, they do? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
some
right.
of them.
Yeah, yeah, no, I spoke to two that don't. And I said, I don't know
Yeah,
what to
there's
tell you
a
guys.
Yeah.
There's more that don't than
Yeah.
that do, I believe.
But for those that do, we can provide some relief, that's nice.
Motion to advertise ordinance 2018-01, which is the restricting truck traffic on Gerloff Road, which is an amendment to Township Code, section 158-7, closing of certain streets to certain vehicles.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Guess we'll go back to public comment, and I guess I would be open the floor to.
Just real quick, Kevin,
Oh,
on
sorry.
the truck restriction ordinance, we're gonna schedule that to be decided on.
February 6th.
And is it, will Limerick have theirs all set up by then?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think they are ahead of us on
All
that,
right, okay.
yes.
Because we kind of want to dovetail a little bit, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're actually ahead of us, because I got a draft ordinance from their engineer about a month
Oh,
ago.
okay.
Okay.
And to double back on the earlier question, I just looked up, it's a 20% match, $1.5 million in grant funding has been put out there for 2018. And it's a competitive grant, 20% match from the township. We'd estimated that in the range of $200,000 for the complete sidewalk project,
Right.
so you'd be talking.
And that would, we could include our own time in that too, right?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
20% of 200,000.
right.
Would you, right?
No, 200,000 is 20% of 1.5 million, isn't that what you said?
No, there's a 20% match with the grant, so if it's a $200,000 project, the township would chip in $40,000 of the design and construction cost, and then the grant would be for 160.
So it was the 1.5 million.
That's the total amount of grant money that's becoming available from the county in 2018 for this program.
Yeah, we're not gonna get a million.
Darn.
That's a lot of sidewalks.
Yeah.
A lot of comments.
Well, there's a crossing of a stream involved, and so there's a few things.
Okay.
I just have a question for the lawyer. What's the difference between a recusal and an abstention? In terms of voting? I wonder if there should have been a recusal.
I think a recusal is where you take yourself out of an entire matter as far as deciding it. An abstention is abstaining from voting on a particular.
That's what we're called for
Issue.
to do, right, is abstain.
Right.
Okay, just a question, this Damien as well. When the vote is taken at this meeting on the budget, that means the budget is now approved, correct?
It's my understanding.
Okay, we don't have to wait until, the the next meeting in 2018 when the minutes get approved. So the budget's approved as of this meeting.
By law, you have to have it approved by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's, as of tonight, it's approved budget.
Yeah.
I believe so. I'd be
No,
happy to
you
research
do
it for you,
have
but,
to, you have
I
to have
mean,
it passed by the
yes,
end
you're
of the
right.
year.
And that's, I think, what we're trying to do tonight.
Any other questions on that?
Well, if you pass the budget and we understand that a recusal was not taken, would this budget have needed a recusal?
The budget?
The budget?
No.
No.
I think, well, you're referring to the thing about the conditional use hearing, I assume you're talking about, right?
No. No, if in the ethics law, if there's any conflict of interest by anybody in the board, then you have to have a recusal, correct? Am I missing something here?
I'm still- we're-
Speaking generally, are you saying that you believe there's, somebody has a conflict of interest in the overall budget?
I'm not sure, but I think that if you're, in the case of Bob, for example, if your wife is an employee and you've approved the budget for her salary, is that a recusal or not? Is that a violation of the ethics law or not?
I think that's covered by the fact that Bob is not involved in that negotiation. So he's not involved in that.
He's still
That was
voting.
approved by the other supervisors. Approving the entire budget, I don't think it follows the same way.
I'm
would
asking the
agree with
solicitor
you.
this
Yeah.
question. I'm not
Would it be
asking
cleaner,
you.
What do you
would it be
think?
cleaner to take another vote
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
rescind that?
It's too late.
Shoot.
It's been
You've got-
approved, the budget's
The budget's
approved.
been approved.
I disagree that it's too late to take another vote. I agree with Ron's analysis that it's probably not necessary, but we could certainly
We can do
take
it both
another
ways.
vote on it with Bob abstaining, just to make sure we get the same result, and I'm sure we will, because it was a 3-0 vote.
Do we need to rescind the previous motion now?
I don't think any of it's necessary, but to the extent the issue's been raised, if we want to be super cautious about it, then sure, we could.
Well, I'm just asking you, I'm not asking the board. This is,
Got
you're
it.
the solicitor,
Okay,
you make
okay.
the call.
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
I mean, I'm always one for being as cautious as possible, so since I think the result will be the same, it's kind of a waste of time, exercise, and whatever you want to call it. But you raised the issue, so would the supervisors like to take another vote with Bob abstaining, even though my opinion is it's probably not necessary?
So just to confirm, your opinion is if somebody personally benefits from a vote, it's okay to do it? Just so we get that.
No, that's
No?
definitely not what I said. I said,
Okay.
I agree with Ron's analysis, which is that one budget item that includes the salary that it's my understanding really was decided previously and really is not being changed at all as by way of being included in this budget, probably doesn't require an extension.
Probably or definitely?
I told you I'm not sure 100% the
Okay.
answer, so in an abundance of caution, since you raised the issue, I'm recommending that we take another vote.
And rescind the previous?
Sure.
Okay. Then I need a motion to rescind.
All right, I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Should he abstain from that?
I suppose so.
Okay. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Bob abstained. All right, then we need another vote to pass the budget.
Make a motion to pass the budget?
I'll second. All in favor?
Abstain.
Abstain. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good point. All right. Guess we'll move into old business. I have no old business. Hearing none?
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Tom, have you gotten that no truck sign up at Southford and Schwenk? Or we still have the pedestal there?
I honestly don't know if the guys got it up or not. When they were supposed to when I was on vacation, I don't know if it was
Okay.
up. I have to ask Ray tomorrow.
And then just one other thing
Yeah,
as
it
far
went
as...
up because we got a phone call. They didn't want it in.
Oh, is that the one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. As far as the police were concerned, I called the police at 1 o'clock Monday morning, county radio, sent out state police. Took about 25 minutes for them to respond. We had a guy, I'm assuming he was on Schwenk. Obviously, I can only tell by the noise I heard on a four-wheeler. By the time he got to Zieglerville, I obviously didn't get down to the road quick enough to see who it was, but he went past my house, headed towards the curve, and when he got down past the curve, he shut it off. So I would have to assume that either he shut it off to coast down the rest of the hill, or he lives at that area. So I did check with Corporal Milligan Monday afternoon to see if he knew anything about my call going through. Said he didn't know anything about it, but to keep him informed. So
State police come out?
they did come out. They didn't stop to see me, but they came out.
I will say that there was an accident at my house about a month and a half ago, I guess, probably now. And state police were actually out there pretty quickly. They were out probably 10, 12 minutes. I was a little surprised, to tell the truth.
Well, I mean, I'm glad they showed up when they did, but I mean, we don't need guys on four-wheelers at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I will say, I think I mentioned before, our ambulance service was out within minutes. They were there real fast. It was really good. Which is good, because the guy was trying to take off after he plowed through my yard. It was amazing how much damage a Jeep Wrangler will do doing probably 80-some miles an hour. Trees, fences, everything. Signs, those are unbelievable.
Wow.
I have a question about the sewer bill.
Your name, ma'am?
Gail Dodd, Village Drive. Is the bill going up this, in 2018?
No,
Is it still going to be at $175 a quarter?
whatever it is now, it'll stay there, yeah.
And everybody's paying $175 a quarter?
Everyone's in it, yeah.
Yeah, my understanding. Okay.
Are we still doing public
Yeah, I do.
comments?
Oh.
Just,
Yeah.
okay. Phil Smith, Girl Off Road. This is in reference to the letter which I had sent on December the 4th, that you were going to take under consideration my request to protect those buffer areas out at the Ragusa track. As a matter of fact finding, I thought I would try to find a comparable for your ability to sort of see what another municipality might have done in regard to an approved plan that had buffer areas that they wanted to conserve and protect. So I checked in at the Meadow Glen development at Skipback, which is Toll Brothers development down there on 73. They referred me to their homeowners association president. His name is Reeves Miller, I believe. And him and I had a conversation on the phone. Now, he had a couple of points to make that he thought were things that might be worthy of us considering when we look at that as an option. And one of the things that he had said was that the way that their homeowners association is drafted and recorded puts the guidance for protecting the wooded buffers on that site to the plan, the recorded plan. So they, in analyzing what they need to do about something that has to do with those buffer areas on that particular site, they go back to the recorded plan for the guidance. So in view of the fact that they have, conserved those things, I think it would be prudent for the township to, consider mentions within the plan that's going to be submitted for that and recorded to reflect those kinds of measures that would ensure that into the future those buffers stay woodland protected buffers. Without that, he said, you're really going to be working at a deficit. He said that they looked at the option of using it as a recorded method within the homeowners association bylaws, and it was referred to them, or was a preferred method by way of I believe it was the attorney of the township to use the recorded plan as that mechanism. And incidentally, that alteration came about after, as I had said previously, the plan was recorded. So phase 3, which is the section that you see when you travel down Route 73, is the area where you can very easily drive in and see how they've maintained that. I did shoot some pictures, which I can circulate, which show the total site, as well as how they've gone about, ensuring that the homeowners that do occupy those houses don't incur into those spaces, and how they've gone about protecting between the areas of development. So I just, as a matter of fact finding, think that there are some things that you ought to be aware of in your consideration as to how to handle my request to you.
We'll pass it on to the attorney's office.
Anything else? Okay. I guess I need a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
There you go.
Any
I'll
second?
second.
In favor?
All right, thank you guys.
Where did these come from? Oh, the big room.
I could be, like I said, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
because I forget half this. I can write all the notes in a little bit.
I noticed I spent 2 hours chewing my finger.
What's that?
Okay. Yeah. I'm not telling you I'm not telling you you're wrong or right or not wrong.
I just found that Philip grinds his teeth.
So if you have a concern like that, let me know.
The dentist, I can research it. Grinding his teeth to go
I
had a period of time where I was grinding my teeth today. My molars in the back were breaking.
On the budget, because I am
Just like,
He hides it by grind. I do.
Could be right.
When I'm nervous.
Could be right. Yeah.
yeah.
So anything.
You're the lawyer.
But I had.
That's true, but I'm not.
2 hours of